Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
On the Morning Drive, we get this from the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Where has the time gone? It seems like yesterday it was the Women's College World Series softball in Oklahoma City. Had to get all that in. Now the fall semester is about to start. I'm 64, and they say time seems to go faster at my age. #Wreck 'em. Yeah, I'm right there with you. Age and thought and everything. Although I feel like I might be 64. I feel like I got the body of about a 50-year-old and the mindset of about a 35-year-old. Okay? That's how I feel.
Awesome.
That's how I feel.
Just awesome.
I know that you were waiting for that and wanting to know my self-analysis.
Did not.
I know you didn't, but I just wanted to go ahead and get it on the record.
I feel like this month, I guess I can't necessarily agree with the texter. I mean, I feel like this month has been painfully slow.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I want to talk a little baseball here with you. Okay. The New York Mets have a new home run king. It's Pete Alonso. He got his 27th last night, and that's the 253rd of his career. That breaks Darryl Strawberry's record. I guess my first thought with this was Darryl Strawberry should have had more than 252 home runs as a New York Met.
You'll have to talk to Darryl about that.
Right, I know. But I mean, he had his challenges, had his problems.
I mean, I was going to say you could ask the cops about it too.
Yeah,
they might be able to explain.
Well, it's not the cops' fault.
No.
Well, no, but they were the ones that took him away.
Yeah, but it was his fault. I mean,
Did he actually spend time in jail?
I think so.
I don't remember him ever going to jail. I just remember him going to rehab.
Yeah, that's what I remember too.
And then cancer and.
Yeah. I don't know that there was any quote jail time. He's 63, and he looks way older than 63. I'll just say that.
Probably doesn't have the body of a 50-year-old. Like
I don't think he does. I don't think he does. I mean, you are who you think you are, Jamie. You are who you think you are. 1994, he was released in May by the Dodgers after failing to show up for a game. That's a problem.
It's not ideal. That probably cut down on his home run total.
He was suspended at the beginning of the 95 season after testing positive for cocaine.
You would think that would cut down on your home run numbers.
Yep. I don't see any jail time for him. But I feel like that while he had a great career, it probably could have even been better if he'd have just kept his nose clean, so to speak.
I don't. Did he have a great career?
I said I feel.
Yeah, I'm asking you. I don't know that I would say he had a great career. I would say he was on path to have a great career.
Yeah, that's what I said. He would have had a great career is what I said.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, I agree with you. He had 335 home runs. He had 1,000 runs batted in. For a lot of players, that'd be like, that's a great career, right? But for his talent level, it seems like he fell a little short.
250 homers sounds pretty middle of the pack.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't call that a great career.
335 totals what he had, all totaled.
It was 250 with the Mets. And
250. Yeah.
Served a 22-month prison sentence.
Okay.
There you go.
And was also sentenced to 40 days in jail for other violations of his parole.
There you go, Jeff.
Yeah.
I just feel like he was wasted talent.
Okay.
And I was a fan. Okay, both when he was with the Mets and when he was with the Yankees.
Yeah, okay. I think that's fair.
He and Gooden were super fun at that time. Doc coming in so young and dominating. as a rookie was really cool to see. They were a lot of fun. I just feel like both of them just, wasted that talent. Could have been so much more.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels like both of them have their heads on straight now and are doing okay.
Yeah, it seems like that.
Yeah, and are using their story to try to help others. So feels like that they've done great things. Yeah,
done better.
Yeah, but both were uber talented. It could have been, superstars for years and years and years and years.
Yeah, if they'd have just literally kept their nose clean. But that, for whatever reason, the temptations of life just got in the way of their success.
Yeah, I mean, you just look at that era of the world and you look at them being superstars on that stage and at their age, and just a recipe for disaster.
I don't know if you're going to have enough time to comment on it, but I want to kind of have just a little bit of discussion on it. Have you seen this news on Shohei Ohtani and his agent and the lawsuit that's been filed against them with regard to real estate development in Hawaii?
I do not know anything about it. I've not heard about that.
Okay, so there's this lawsuit that it's complicated. I guess the main point of my whole deal is, what in the world is he doing? I mean, is there some shadiness to Shohei Ohtani that we're brushing aside because of the fact that he's a two-way player, home run guy, pitcher? I mean, you got the whole gambling, deal with his former interpreter who allegedly embezzled, and I guess didn't allege, he did it, and he's in jail now. Did he take the fall for Ohtani? And now this deal, it seems like they've kind of put the screws to a guy there over a real estate development.
Yeah, what's the story?
I've got to pull it up here. But it sounds like these guys were in business together, and then all of a sudden that the Ohtani and his agent kind of changed the terms of the deal and changed things up. The agent now accuses Ohtani and his agent, the real estate agent, of sabotaging a $240 million Hawaii real estate deal. He's claiming that
his agent is suing.
No, the real estate investor and broker is suing Ohtani and his agent.
Okay, all right.
saying that they got them fired for a $240 million luxury housing development on the Big Island that they brought him in to endorse. They apparently kept asking and demanding concessions of this developer and this real estate broker, and it's now led to the demise of this particular deal. I guess my point is that it just seems like Ohtani keeps getting involved in bad stuff off the field.
Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Drive. Today is Wednesday, August the 13th, 2025. Here is Jeff McGuire with this day in sports history.
1939, the Yankees set an American League shutout margin record with a 21-0 victory over the A's.
Wow.
1955.
That'll increase your run differential right there.
Yeah, that will definitely help you get in the positive side if you weren't already.
By at least 21.
1955. Larry Dalby ends the American League record, 167 errorless games in the outfield. 1969, Baltimore Oriole Jim Palmer no-hits the Oakland A's 8-0. In 1979, St. Louis Cardinals' Lou Brock becomes the 14th Major League Baseball player to achieve 3,000 hits. 1997, San Diego Padres trade outfielder Ricky Henderson to the Anaheim Angels. And if you'd asked me to name two teams that Ricky Henderson played for, I probably might have gotten Padres, would not have remembered the Angels.
I would agree with you on that, yeah.
I don't know that I would have remembered either one of those.
Yeah. I think
And in 2011, Former Red Raider Josh Tomlin goes 6 1/3, giving up 1 run on 4 hits, while walking 1 in a 3-1 Cleveland win in Minnesota. It is National Filet Mignon Day.
I'm just not a fan of the filet mignon.
It is very tasty. It is very expensive.
It is very small.
But that helps you keep that 50-year-old figure of yours.
I know, but
I like filet mignon.
it
is also very expensive. Happy birthday, former Red Raider pitcher and A's broadcaster Dallas Braden, 42. Sebastian Stan, 43. John Slattery is 63. And DeMarcus Cousins is 35. And shortly after midnight on August 13th, 1961, East German soldiers begin laying down barbed wire and bricks as a barrier between Soviet-controlled East Berlin and the democratic western section of the city. The height of the wall was eventually raised to 10 feet in 1970 in an effort to stop escaping attempts, which at the time came almost daily. From 61 to 89, a total of 5,000 East Germans escaped. Many more tried and failed. High-profile shootings from some would-be defectors only intensified in the Western's hatred of the Berlin Wall. And that is this day in sports history.
This day in sports history. You know, I don't think Larry Dolby gets credit in history today like he should get credit. Larry Dolby was the first black American League baseball player. Jackie Robinson was the first baseball player, obviously. Larry Dolby was also the second black Major League manager. Frank Robinson was the first. And Dolby was also one of 2 who became world champions. He and Satchel Paige were on the same World Series team for the Indians, so they were the first 2 black players to win a World Series. And Larry Dolby was the first player to go directly from the Negro Leagues to the majors. But you don't hear a whole lot about Larry Dolby. Mm-hmm. And he was a guy that was a really good player. He finished second in the American League Most Valuable Player voting in 1954. He at one point in time was the American League RBI leader and home run champion that year. He also played for the White Sox, the Tigers, and then played in Japan. He retired in 1962. He passed away in 2003 at the age of 79. But I think he was just a guy. He was a guy that just performed and did his job. And if memory serves me correct, just kind of a soft-spoken guy. Even when he became the manager of the White Sox, but I don't think gets the credit. And not that he's looking for any credit, but he's not known in history like
he's
Jackie
passed,
Robinson and Frank Robinson. Those 2 guys were the headliners.
I don't disagree with what you're saying. I would guess the reason for that is that he wasn't the first. And
right.
So everybody forgets.
Focuses on the first. Yeah. He was the first in the American League, but you're right. I mean, he was the second overall. And he in the time that was the difference between him and Jackie Robinson, it wasn't that. I mean, it was just a few months. Trying to see here that because he broke into the major leagues in 1947, and so he was not far behind Jackie Robinson. Going into the major leagues. So, at any rate. And then the other thought from this day in sports history is Lou Brock, back in his day, was more known as a base stealer, but was a guy that got 3,000 hits. Because, you think about, back in the day, you'd think about Lou Brock. He was a guy that was, he stole a lot of bases. And
one of the best ever.
One of the best ever. And, to think of him as a 3,000 hitter.
Hard to steal that many bases if you're not getting out first.
Right. Okay, 6:51 this morning here on the morning drive. Somebody says this, can get fillets as big as you want. I grilled 3 12-ounce fillets the other night. How big a steak do you eat? Well, I like a nice ribeye. I like it to be a little left over. Anytime that I've gone to a restaurant, it seems like for the most part, the fillets are around 8 ounces or so. It just doesn't seem like enough. It's like I never understand these restaurants where you see people, that post pictures of food on their plate, and there's like just hardly anything on the plate, and it's like, it's expensive as hell. Like, how do you get filled up there? Do you have to go to the run through the drive-thru on the way home?
If you have friends that are posting pictures of their food on their plate, get new friends.
Get new friends. Well, or just, you see restaurants that put, display their stuff on.
Are they foodies?
They could be. They could be. Could be. But what I'm talking about.
I go back to my original comment.
No, I got you. I get new friends. Jamie, I can't throw away the friends I have because then I'll be left with none.
Well, that's a bad deal.
That is a bad deal.
You're a friendly guy.
I know, but I feel like I am. But
but how many times have you said you have one true friend?
One true
and
friend.
I've met him. He's a nice guy. But you said you have one true friend.
Well, he claimed. No, that's his claim. He thinks I just have one. I'm his only friend, is what he'll declare.
He goes on baseball trips with us.
He does. He makes a lot of noise. 6:53 this morning.
Whoa!
He does.
Whoa!
He does. He makes a lot of noise. He does. 6:53.
Shots fired.
There's no shot fired.
There's no shots fired. Also, pot meat kettle. But
right.
I don't know
that's fair.
I don't know that covers the pot meat kettle.
Yeah,
we've got to find something blacker than that.
No, I know that I'm not the quietest guy in the room. I know that. Sometimes folks might say I'm the noisiest guy in the room, and I understand that too.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Some reaction to things this morning here on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. You can go to the Double T 97.3 mobile app. It's presented by Happy State Bank if you'd like to weigh in. You only need to eat grass-fed and grass-finished meat if you are going to eat beef. Most people eat feedlot beef, and it's terrible and finished on corn. Cows' stomachs aren't designed to eat corn, and it leads to health problems. That's why so many people are fat. Okay. My 10-year-old might be you guys' biggest fan. Well, thank you. Boom, Boom, Boom is on when we leave the house. Okay. Let's see.
Tell him we said thanks.
Yeah, thank you. Syntax Hank, Chuck, for health reasons, they recommend the best size portion for a steak is 3 ounces. 3 ounces? That's like a bite. Or the dimensions of a deck of cards, especially as we get older. Peace. Syntax Hank.
Peace.
Okay.
Thanks, Hank. If I'm eating steak, that's plenty big for me.
3 ounces?
Yeah, that's plenty big for me. The size of a deck of cards? Yeah.
I know.
That's about the size of a burger, right?
You eat a quarter pounder, though, for a burger, right?
I don't usually get the bigger ones or doubles or anything like that. I'm usually a single guy.
Okay. Since Chuck is an influencer and only eats small portion steaks, I'm not an influencer, and I like a big steak, but I don't eat it all. Scott writes in, Chuck, Christian music playing on radio may supersede morning drive. Ha! As family drives to school, possibly, ? Agree on steak comments. Fillets are appetizers.
Chuck added the ha, just for the record. That was not in the original text.
Yeah, no. I feel like that we're good, clean fun here on the morning drive. We've got, pertinent information to...
You keep bringing up the Cowboys. I don't know that we can be clean fun.
Mold the young minds and the old minds, too. Mm-hmm. Escape from life, kind of that kind of stuff, the trials and tribulations of the day, Mm-hmm. So there you go. Okay. I have 2 questions for you, football related, sports related too, Jamie.
Do I get to answer this time?
Did I ask a question that you didn't get to answer?
Yes.
Which one?
I want to ask you about what's going on with Shohei Ohtani. 5 minutes later, we went to break.
Okay. Yeah, you get to answer this time. We'll go back to Shohei.
Yes, I think Shohei Ohtani had something to do with the gambling, and I think he gets a pass because he's a great player with a great personality. And I don't think MLB or the government from where Shohei is want anything to do with any dirt being dug up on Shohei Ohtani. But I do think that he was not completely clean in that whole deal. I'm not saying he was the main part of it, but I don't think he was completely clean.
And this real estate deal,
I've not read about the real estate deal, so I have no idea.
I guess my whole point on the real estate, it's just like, well, that's something else. It's just kind of like, okay, so if your agent and you are involved in something, and then the other party is accusing you, it just doesn't. It's not a good look. I guess is my point. That's two not good looks for Shohei.
Yeah, there's no guarantee that he was in the wrong at all. But,
sure,
but you're right. It does. You start to wonder if there's a little fire with the smoke, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's really what I was hitting at there. It just seems like, okay, what are you doing here, man? You signed this big, huge contract, and it seems like you're kind of down there with the scumbags to a degree.
I don't.
Seems like you need to get you got to get a better interpreter, one that you can understand too, who's not telling you one thing and doing another, and two, is your agent getting you involved in stuff and then making you to be the bad guy, like you're making all these demands to quote sabotage this Hawaiian deal. Okay. Okay, so here's another question you get to answer. Okay, I'm going to ask the question.
Okay.
And I'm gonna stop talking. The question is, what position group for Texas Tech are you the most concerned about, and is this a new concern?
Which one am I concerned about? The only one that I would say I'm even remotely close to being concerned about, I'm still, tapping the brakes on, we'll wait and see how good the offensive line is, but I wouldn't say I'm concerned. I guess it would be the kickers.
Okay.
Just because the only thing we've seen of them was bad.
Okay. I thought you were going to say the defensive backs or the corners.
No, I mean, we've loaded up on those guys.
Okay, so you feel better about that, at least going into the season. Now,
sure.
The proof in the pudding may be different when it's all said and done. And the only way that you can really alleviate your concerns about the kickers is either A, hear more good news about the kickers, or B, when they get out there and actually do the kicking, putting it through the pipes.
Yeah, I feel like it's just like the offensive line. I got to actually see them do it. Mm-hmm. At least we can be more certain of them in these first 3 games. We can't with the offensive line. I mean, kickers are going to kick against bad teams or good teams the same.
Yeah,
for the most part.
If it's a 35-yard field goal against, Kent State, it's a 35-yard field goal.
The goalposts don't get skinnier against better teams.
No.
Okay, or tighter. But an offensive line can dominate a bad defensive line or a bad team and not be as good against a good team. So I think you have to wait and see on the offensive line, but I think you can be more certain after a couple of weeks of seeing the kickers.
Yeah, and let's be honest, if the defensive line of Arkansas, Pine Bluff, or Kent State is penetrating and blocking a kick, then you got real problems.
I mean, if it happens one time, I don't know that it's a real problem, but I mean, if they're penetrating on every down and Quentin Joyner's back there having to do a Texas two-step before he, hits the line of scrimmage, then yeah, we can be worried.
Yeah,
that's frequent.
A Texas two-step. 7:22 this morning here on the morning.
Is that a real thing? Did I just make that up?
Texas two-step?
Yeah, is that a real thing?
Yeah.
It is? Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Texas
two-step. It's a term I've heard once before. I have no idea what it means.
Are you a good two-stepper?
No.
No. I'll bet you Jeff...
I've never done any of that in my life.
I'll bet you Jeff back in the day is a guy that could two-step.
If you can walk, you can two-step.
Well...
If you can walk, you can two-step.
I don't know.
Now, was I any good at it? Probably not. But if you can walk, you can two-step.
My other question for you is there a team, and we may want to kick this...
Did you want to answer too?
I would I would agree with you on the kickers. I'm still a little concerned about that. I want to see you be able to as much as I think that you have shored up your defense, I want to see what it looks like when you're putting pressure on the quarterback and forcing the quarterback out of his comfort zone, of how that converts to your defense being able to get off the field. In other words, are we going to see more 3-and-outs this year as a result of our vaunted defensive line? Because the thing that's frustrated me over the years, no matter who the coach has been, no matter who the defensive coordinator has been, is our inability to get off the field, especially at like 3rd and 4 or 3rd and 5. Heck, even 3rd and 9 sometimes. It feels like that we've had the tenacity to give up, first downs when you feel like that you should have gotten off the field, that could A, flip the field in your favor, or B, extends and ends up in some kind of scoring. So I'm really curious as to how that defensive line affects the rest of your defense. And I'm still a little, while they talk about, all the stuff that you've added at the back end of your defense, I want to see it perform. But yeah, I'm concerned about the kickers too, until they put it through the pipes. Because the other day when I asked him about the kickers, he brings up somebody that we don't really ever talk about. It's like, that doesn't give you very comfort there.
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Jamie's question of the day on Double T 97.3 is brought to you by Connecticut of West Texas.
Hey, your headline stuff, man.
Right. Okay. So you know how MLB now makes broadcasters, take a few weekends off during the season?
They make them, or they?
I think so. I think it's mandated.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think I had heard that. I could be wrong, but I thought I had heard that it was mandated.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you are you okay with that?
I think it's smart.
Okay. Have you gotten a call up yet? Would that?
No. When they got their third guy, Jared Sandler. He does a good job and all that good stuff.
He does.
I think, okay, I'll get to my point. I think, in case you were wondering if I had one.
I know you've always got a point.
I think when you decide that you want to talk about the owner of the Dallas Cowboys, I should get to sit that segment out.
Okay.
Wait.
Well, it's just some news.
Time out.
Just some news.
Why do you get to leave?
I think Major League Baseball should mandate that I sit that out.
The National
so
Football
many
League?
segments per year I have to sit out.
Okay.
And I'll just take all of those. When we get to the season and we're talking about their games, I'm in. Okay. More talk about him and his movie, I'm out.
It's a documentary.
Yeah, whatever. Okay, time for Jamie's question of the day.
Yeah.
This has been forced upon me.
By?
You guys know I am a choose joy guy.
You are.
I am 100% a choose joy guy.
Yeah.
Everything about me says choose joy.
I know, just you're a model of that.
Yes.
I'd look at you, I say, choose joy.
Yeah. My question for you today. This was a topic on the chat line earlier. Jeff McGuire brought it to our attention. Okay. I want you to tell me who your least favorite Red Raider of all time is. I would suggest not picking somebody on a current team if he is currently a member of a team.
That Baron Morton guy cut me off in traffic yesterday.
Our team. I got you.
Our team, yeah.
Gotcha.
But who is your least favorite Red Raider ever? And it feels like we have some good candidates now. Now in the world of the transfer portal, more times than not, I'm guessing it's going to be guys that have left us before their time was done. It would be really difficult, I think, to pick one that played here his full 3 or 4 years.
Yeah. I still hold Baker Mayfield in contempt. I can't stand him. I can't stand watching him. I won't root for him. I won't root for his team. It's not because he left. It's how he left, and the lies that he and his dad dispelled about Coach Kingsbury and Texas Tech, and has never, ever shown any modicum of graciousness towards this town and this university and that coaching staff for picking him up off the pile of manure that he was on when nobody would give him a scholarship or give him a chance. We did. He got a chance to start after Davis Webb got sick, and then Mayfield got hurt in a game at KU, and Coach Kingsbury said, hey, like everybody, there's going to be competition for this job. And like a crybaby, he picked up all his toys and went to Oklahoma and, blamed us for all his problems. And so I'm usually a forgive, never forget. This is not forgiven, and I'm not forgetting.
A good question just got raised on the chat line.
People are asking if you can include coaches.
Yes.
I would say no, because otherwise Chris Beard's I would think people
1 through 10.
I don't know. Probably Baker beats Chris Beard for a lot of people. Not for me, but
Baker beats Chris Beard for me, and it's not even close.
Yeah, I think we were sensing that after your last comments. I didn't mean to get you upset, Chuck. Choose joy, dude. Be happy he's gone.
The reason Baker's not my one is what has happened with him since he has left and gotten it, and the whole debacle with Cleveland. I'm not rooting for him, but there's a little sympathy there for what happened.
I'm with Jeff on this. I think I started to kind of turn with him getting pushed out the door for Deshaun Watson and all that in Cleveland. And I'm thinking, hey, Baker Mayfield, at least for the most part, had kept himself out of trouble. Yeah. And you're getting rid of him to bring in Deshaun Watson and all of his drama. That made me again, I'm not going to say root for Baker. Yeah. But I wanted to see Baker do better than the Browns. Yes. Okay, and I'm still there. I'm still there.
I'm not wanting Baker to win a Super Bowl, but I'm wanting him to win one more game than the Browns do.
So who's your least favorite Red Raider?
You can't say always a Red Raider and then go to our rival in a sport. That's just not what you do if you're always a Red Raider. And while Texas is our main rival when it comes to most sports, the guy in the locker room in basketball is Kansas. We're going Kevin McCullough.
Yeah, I didn't.
He's got all the reasons to leave, but you don't go there.
I agree. He made me hate my alma mater that year, and I didn't like that.
That year. He was there for 3 of them.
Well, no, he wasn't there for 3 years. Kevin McCullough?
He was there
2.
Are you sure?
2, yeah.
Because he just finished up last year, right?
No, he wasn't there last year.
Only 2 years. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you said you hated him that year.
Well, 2 years in.
Okay. I swear he got the extra year, and he was around at KU for 3 years, because I thought it was ridiculous.
Okay. Who's yours, Jamie? I'll Google that.
For me, Pop Isaacs. I hated his style of play. Hated how vocal his dad was about things.
That's fair.
I hated whatever he had going on in Hawaii with his teammates' teenage sister.
Yeah.
I hated that Red Raider fans stuck up for him over that whole ordeal. That was, to me, an embarrassment to our university and our athletic department. Just even long before that, didn't like his style of play.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
McCullough was there 2 years.
Yep, he would be a pretty easy answer for me.
Okay, your thoughts, your comments on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Who is your most favorite, least favorite Red Raider?
How about just least favorite Red Raider?
How about your least favorite Red Raider? There you go.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Thank you for being with us today on the Morning Drive. I feel like that we've been a meandering river today. There's some rivers that you look down and it's like straight shot through the city. Mm-hmm. And then there's some rivers that kind of curve here and curve there and curve here and curve. And maybe that's us every day.
Maybe a little bit.
Maybe we've meandered so much over the years that that's kind of the way it is. That's from Washed Up Guy. My 83-year-old brother played at West Texas State. He is absolutely unhappy that it is now West Texas A&M. Washed Up Guy. Wait till it'll be interesting to see how folks in San Angelo and Wichita Falls feels when their schools are renamed Texas Tech. That could be coming to a town near you real soon.
What's that?
That it could San Angelo State and I can't remember the school that's in Wichita Falls. Could be those are going to be
Midwestern State.
Midwestern. I think those are going to be renamed Texas Tech.
Wichita Falls?
Yeah, Wichita Falls at Texas Tech, or San Angelo State's going to be renamed Texas Tech at San Angelo. Texas Tech, San Angelo, Texas Tech, Wichita Falls.
TTSA and TTWF?
Yeah, I think something like that.
Okay.
Could be happening. Could be happening. Let's see here. I wanted to get this in because I thought this was pretty funny. This from our friend $8 an Hour guy, which we've not heard from him in quite some time. Man, I couldn't have picked a better day to tune back in. You all are just like I left you. I think that's a compliment.
I don't know how long he's been gone, but I probably gained a few pounds.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Chuck. I got to looking, and not only do I have a left thumb, I have a right one as well. Who knew? You're welcome. Not our fault y'all decided to use the wrong hand. I said Happy Left-Handers Day because I feel like that we don't have the same opportunities as right-handers from time to time, especially with the drinking fountain and things like that. I once accused, and I'm pretty sure, I don't think she did it on purpose, but she did it. The lucky lady once bought a right-handed ham because when I tried to cut it with my left hand, when I tried to slice it with my left hand, it was clearly a right-handed ham. You had to, if you were right-handed, it cut easier than if you were cutting it left-handed. And I tried turning it around the other way, but it's like you bought a right-handed ham.
I feel so sorry for that woman sometimes.
I saw a thing on YouTube from a documentary source talking about how we became right-handed dominance, and the skills that went with it that kind of made that more of an advantageous thing in evolution, right? But also said why it didn't go away, because it would give the left-handed people or whatever they were talking about, there was still some advantage to it. It was just a different type of advantage. And I was being like, I should send that to Chuck. Yeah. And then now he's talking about a right-handed ham. And maybe we shouldn't be promoting the left-handed side of life at that point. We might need to be thinning out the herd again, because I'm pretty sure the pig didn't care which hand it had.
I could believe that whatever you're cutting, whatever slab of meat, might be easier one way or the other. I could buy into that, okay? But to accuse your
spouse,
your quote-unquote lucky lady that she intentionally bought a right-handed ham.
It's probably a bit much.
I mean, did she see it like shooting free throws?
I don't know.
Before she bought it? I mean,
know.
how did she know it was right-handed?
She picked it out. And when I looked at it, I'm like, that's a right-handed ham. She's like, what are you talking about?
I agree with her on that.
Was she aware of his glove? I mean, was the ham complaining that he could never play catcher?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that would have made him left-handed.
Right.
No left.
Yeah. Mark says this, Chuck, I'm left-handed as well. When I was a kid, I had to learn to use my right hand like playing golf. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you play golf right-handed?
I do.
You do.
And actually, what the golf pros will tell you is that if you're left-handed, playing right-handed is the better way to do it because you use your left hand more in the swing than you do your right hand. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's the same reason a lot of people do it in baseball. Switch to the other hand.
Yeah. I got to tell you, I mean, I don't know that it makes a whole heck of a lot of difference, but Scott reminds us of this. Yes, I do remember this. Our city is named after Tom Saltus Lubbock, served as an officer in the Confederate Army. Have cities been renamed? No, I think that's fair.
Saltus. I haven't heard that one before.
Yeah. I didn't know his middle name. I knew about Tom Lubbock. I had forgotten about that, but I knew about that. Here is a sports question for us. Chuck, who will have a better season, Texas Tech or the Dallas Cowgirls? If the Dallas Cowgirls have a better season than Texas Tech, then they've won the Super Bowl because I think the Red Raiders are headed to the Big 12 championship game and beyond. I think for the Cowboys to equal Texas Tech in terms of what type of season that they're going to have, I think the Cowboys would have to at least be playing for the right to play for an NFC championship. But to me, the Cowboys equivalent to Tech playing for a Big 12 championship is playing in the NFC championship game.
Okay. I mean, if you're in the Big 12, I can buy into what you're saying. If you look at it a different way, if you're in the Big 12 championship game, that doesn't put you in the Final Four.
No, it doesn't.
The NFC championship puts you in the Final Four.
Right.
You could be in the Final 12.
But I just think that I just
or
think,
really not even just playing in the Big 12 championship game doesn't guarantee you're in the playoff.
No, it doesn't. But I think because you've never been there.
That's why I could buy into what you're saying.
You've never been there, and for Cowboy fans, I mean, it's always going to be, and this is because of the history of the Cowboys. And I know you haven't been to the Super Bowl in 30 plus years, but still, you look at the Cowboys. For guys that are my age, they remember the Cowboys of Staubach and before a little bit, but Staubach especially, and the Aikman years. And they're like wondering, okay, when's it going to be? When's next? When are you going to get Super Bowl number 6? When are you just going to get back to that game? And you got to get to the NFC Championship game to have the right to play in that game. So I think Cowboy fans have the expectation to at least be in the NFC Championship game, even though they haven't been there in quite some time. Mm-hmm. And I think here locally, it's like Big 12 Championship game or bust. At least that's what it sure feels like.
Chuck, I feel like I'm there. Again, there can be craziness, and you at 10-2, and somehow you lose a 3-way tiebreaker that makes me say that I wouldn't call that a failure. But man, it just feels like you got to get there, and this is your best chance ever.
Scott says this: Morton was signing autographs left-handed. His kids cap. He's left-handed. Caught my attention.
Yeah, but does he punt left?
I don't know. See, if he punted, remember, if you're left-handed and you're a left-footed punter, you're valuable, much like a left-handed pitcher, because the ball spins in the opposite direction when you're a left-footed kicker, and that makes you more valuable as a punter in college and in the pros.
What if you're right-handed but you punt left-footed?
As long as you punt left-footed, okay, the ball spins the opposite direction, and it kind of confuses those guys back there to receive punts.
Makes it different.
Makes a difference. Yep. Yeah. Makes it harder.
This has been the Morning Drive Podcast, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Check out our library of Double T 97.3 podcasts at doublet97.3.com.